Hey guys, so today is Wednesday and I keep making these videos and then I don't get around to uploading them and then things change. What are you doing? Things change and I don't, so I just don't upload it. So anyway, everything's a mess, but we're gonna start from over here today. First I want to show you this. Look how cool. It's my little flower bed here. So it's mostly zinnias in there right now and a couple of marigolds. But it's just, I got all the old flower heads from the garden last year and put them in here and then just like chopped up the stems and let it seed itself. So that's cool. Plum tree here. Looks like it's doing well. Although I don't have a pollinator for it, so I don't think that's gonna do much. These are banana trees and they look like they're awakened. I put a sprinkler on them yesterday, so they're happy now, but I don't think they were getting enough water before. This is a Meyer lemon. Let's see. So I'm still, obviously everything's a work in progress, and it probably always will be because I'll change my mind 1,000 times, and that's just how I am and how it is. But yeah, I'm still straightening out this row. I think I want to plant sweet potatoes here. So I really need to get my act together, and I still don't have sweet potato slips. I always make my own and I just didn't get around to it. I didn't even think about it until too late. So I have a sweet potato in some dirt over there, but I don't think it's gonna do what it needs to do in time. So probably gonna have to go buy some from somewhere. These are, I planted a bunch of onions all over the place in the winter, and so from my screen, you can't really see a lot. I don't know, maybe it'll be different on the video. These are weeds. I'm really good at growing weeds, that's for sure. But I have onions over here and onions over here. And in the middle, I had a bunch of brassicas, but I've taken them all out, I think. And yeah, I have a couple of sunflower starts that I stuck in some places just for funsies. Blueberry. It doesn't look like it's doing too great, but it's been through a lot. At least it has some berries on it, so I'll take it if they ripen. This one, I thought it was dead, and it came back to life, so that's cool. But it's definitely not healthy. not even a little bit. There's a sunflower. It looks like it's gonna actually bloom. And then these are nasturtiums, and these are white spine cucumbers, and they don't look very healthy. So I don't know what happened there. And then I had put some tromboncino squash seeds in here, but they haven't sprouted yet. So I'll give it a couple more days and see what happens. And yeah, that bed, and the one that used to be right there, I'm in the process of taking them out. I just have to finish shoveling the dirt out. So yeah, these are pickling cucumbers. They're not doing great, but they're doing better than the other ones. I need to put something there, like some compost or pine straw or something. I don't know. And then I have just random things, mostly berries over here. These are all strawberries and weeds that I'm growing, and some of the strawberries I planted when I was supposed to, like you can tell the big ones, like the ones that are really big and beautiful and pretty. I planted those in the fall, and we've harvested a ton of strawberries, and my son usually picks them for me and eats them. They never make it inside. But and then some of them I planted like way late, so the ones that are smaller, that's what they are. But that's okay, it's fine. I don't think I have anything planted there. And then this is a pink lemonade blueberry, so I'm excited to see how those do. And then of course my Mexican sunflower, the Tithonia diversifolia. They didn't all come back from last year, but to be fair, I did not overwinter them like I should have. Just things are just crazy for me sometimes. This is a some kind of, I think it's a Oh, I can't remember. Some kind of orange tree. These blackberries exploded. So that's cool. They're thornless blackberries. And I really need to trellis them because they're going to root everywhere. But here I am not trellising them. I need to fashion something up. So we'll get there when we get there. And then more strawberries here. And another blueberry that I thought for sure was dead. And yeah, just that's pretty much it. These strawberries over here, I had intentions of putting them in the bed too, but oh, I know what happened here. I dug up a marigold right there and I just wasn't careful with my dirt. But these strawberries that I put in this little box here are doing way better. Like the strawberries are bigger and the leaves are nice and green and beautiful. And I mean, some of them still get some bug damage, but I haven't sprayed them or anything. I haven't done anything to them. So yeah, I don't know. They're happier in this box, which everybody says to plant strawberries in like a raised bed or something. But I mean, the ones that are in the ground are doing okay too. Like I said, I've gotten a lot of strawberries off of them, but the ones on the ground do get more bug damage. So there's that for whatever it's worth. See, that Mexican sunflower didn't come back, and neither did that one. It looks like it did, but this is an Everglades tomato. It might be more than one Everglades tomato in here, but no, that might just be one big plant. But yeah, that's Everglades tomato. So I'm gonna let it grow there, see what happens. I should get a stake and put it there, huh? So I can stake it up. But you guys know, I should do a lot of things that I don't do. A better gardener would have put a stake there. These are, I don't know if they're tomatillos or ground cherries because I had them both planted here last year and they just seeded themselves. I had one in the walkway here too. Did it get trampled? It must have got trampled. But yeah, they've been all over the place. This is one of those, oh man, I can't remember what it was called, but it's a beautiful flower that seeded itself. I should dig it up and see if I can transplant it somewhere else where it can actually live. But we'll see. We'll see if I get there. That's the marigold I transplanted from over there that seeded itself. These are pole beans. I think they're Kentucky Wonder. I planted them too early, so they weren't doing too hot at first. I actually planted some on the other side too, and they didn't make it. So I pulled them out, and I'll probably, I don't know what I'm going to plant there. Maybe I'll plant some long beans or something. They like the heat. And it's already almost May. No, what is it? The middle of, it's the middle of April, right? What's today's date? Shoot, I don't know. Anyway, it's too close to May. So there's that. And then I'm still just raking out this row. So I don't have anything planted on this trellis on this side. This is my elderberry. It looks like it's doing pretty good. That's a lavender that I thought for sure was dead whenever I put it in the ground. I really just put it there for it to die in honest death, and here it is. That's a sunflower. It's growing two heads. I had more than one type of sunflower and they got mixed up. It's a long story, but everything's a long story. I'll spare you. And we're back over here to the Meyer lemon. And then these are just weeds growing here. So I haven't raked up this side yet. Or, you know, I had got some compost, which I should show you guys my compost. I will when I'm done here. I'll try to be faster. So I was putting a layer of compost over the top of this. These are onions. And then I had brassicas here. I had, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, all that. And I did harvest quite a bit of broccoli. And then a lot of it went to seed too. But these Brussels sprouts actually look like they wanted to be Brussels sprouts someday. So I left it, and I'm fairly certain it's not gonna actually, I'm sure it's gonna bolt any second now because, it's hot and it's gonna get hotter. But I left it there because it looked pretty healthy. And most of these onions look pretty bleak. But That's a sunflower. I think that was a squash, but I can't tell you for sure. If it is a squash, it's not doing well. But these onions over here looked pretty good. Although I don't really know how big they're supposed to be. But these are the biggest ones I have. That one must be a red onion. I had red onions and yellow onions that were the long day variety, which is what I'm supposed to have. So this is a squash plant that I planted too early, and I thought it was dead because it went through a freeze. But here it is, and it has a baby squash on it, and I don't know if it was fertilized or not. And I need to put some diatomaceous earth or something there so that the borers don't get it. But I don't know, it might be a little late for that now. And there's ants all over it, and I know that they help pollinate it. So I don't really want them to like get got. And also, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like 10 times the size it is, right? I don't know. Those of you that know me know that I've never successfully grown a regular like zucchini squash type of thing. So there's that. These are comfrey. Did you see? I had other comfrey. I don't know if I pointed them out, but I had like just stuck roots in random places, and they've come back pretty nicely all over the place. This one looks kind of sick, which I don't know exactly why, but maybe I'll just try to kill it out. But yeah, I've got tons of comfrey. I still have comfrey in my freezer from last year too. Apparently it's a good salve for like muscle aches and stuff, which we hurt ourselves a lot around here. So yeah, so I need to finish raking this out even and all that. Oh gosh, I gotta tell you guys what happened. So I had like probably 20 wheelbarrows, wheelbarrow, I don't ever know how to say that word, like rural, what do you say? Anyway, so it's not a grammar class, but I had really worked hard on the mulch, like putting a fresh layer of mulch in all these back rows on the walkways, and we got a huge rain, and I did it intentionally before the rain because I thought, oh man, when it rains it's gonna like, you know, water all this stuff in. It's gonna be great, you know. Listen, so my yard is on, let's see if I can accurately depict it. My yard slopes this way, which I knew this. It was a problem when I had my raised beds. Those of you that have known me long enough know I had raised beds here before, and I changed my mind like I always do. Anyway, it slopes this way. I knew this. The beds, I have the beds pretty level, but like the walkways aren't, and I don't really care. I just want them like even where I don't trip and my kids don't trip, you know. But I had these rows back here, the soil was mostly unimproved. Like I had put like a tarp down at one point to like kill the grass, and that improved it a little bit, made it soft. And then, you know, I'd put some leaves and stuff over it, and that improved it a little bit. But for the most part, these back rows were completely unimproved. So whenever we raked them all out, they were like mostly sand. And so it like, they just ended up being mounds, and that's fine, you know. Well, I guess because when my husband did these back ones too, he like shoveled out the walkways, and whenever I did it, I just kind of like raked it, like whatever. But I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but he made these valleys, which would have been good because, right, you want this like thick layer of mulch in the middle to be lower than the top. The idea is that the root, when it rains or when you water or whatever, this mulch would be saturated with water, and then the roots, whenever they get thirsty, they will find the water, right? And the more water this holds, it's like good, right? Like, I don't know, look it up. I'm not a scientist, but that was the idea, right? Thick mulch, high rows, supposed to be good. It all washed out, and you can like follow it. Like some of it I've smoothed back out since then, but like you can see like where the water went. It like traveled, and then like like you can just follow it. came in this way. And it came this way, and there's a whole bunch of mulch right here. This is, you can't tell, but it's like a lot of mulch. Maybe like 8 inches deep probably of mulch. And because it washed from other places, and it washed all out into the yard, which is fine. I mean, obviously look at our yard, but it all washed out. And yeah, that was a lot of wasted effort on my part, but it's okay. Eventually I'll work on leveling it out, which I need to do anyway. I need to get some strings and, level it all out. The walkways at least, so that the drainage is better, and then put a trench with, all the stuff. And it will all happen someday, but that's not what we're here for. Let's go back to the garden. Let's go back to the tour here. Okay, so I think I covered everything in that row, all the comfrey and the squash and the onions, all that. Okay, great. I don't have anything planted on the side of the trellis yet. I have this here because I had to stand on it for my sprinkler. Over here, I just planted these tomatoes yesterday. I just stepped in that hole I created. I'm trying to show you all the mulch. So that's the Mexican sunflower. It came back. And then these, I think these 3 aromas. I don't know. That's a Floridade, and that's a Floridade. That's a comfrey, obviously. And I just took some of the soil from those beds I'm taking out and trucked it over here, and put some fertilizer and stuff in it, whatever. These are Brad's Atomic Grape Cherry tomatoes, so we'll see how they do here. Hopefully they do well, and I can train them up this trellis. We shall see. And then on this side, along the side of the bed here, I put some bush beans. I think they're just I can't remember. I dug it up and tried to replant it, but I think it's dead, although some of it's still green, so I don't know. I'm gonna let it die there. These are all a different variety of tomato, and I tried to bury the tag a little bit so the sun wouldn't get to it too much, but historically I've done that a lot, and then I just lose the tag in the soil and I find it someday in the future. This one's a Brandywine, I can see. This one's a pink Brandywine, and I dropped a shovel on it 3 times over here, so it might not be alive for much longer. I did take some of the leaves off that looked a little saddish, but that's probably not going to make it. San Marzano, these I planted a few days ago, and so time will tell if they're going to make it or not. So this row back here has never been planted in before, and I also trucked some of the soil from over there here, but other than that, a lot of this was kind of unimproved. So I did put some fertilizer and stuff and some compost and whatever, but I mean, I guess the way I was thinking about it was, if this was a raised bed, it would have sides on it, but that's really the only difference between my beds and an actual raised bed with borders. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm probably wrong, and there's probably some science to it that I don't know. I'm not a scientist. This one, let's see. Let's talk about all the kinds of tomatoes I planted. Cherokee Purple. I'm excited about that one. Ooh, it's starting to get a flower. I think I should pull the flower. I don't know. We'll see. And this one is Ukrainian Purple. So we'll see how that does. And let's see. Mortgage Lifter. I have a bunch of Mortgage Lifter tomato starts. I have a lot. Hold on, let me stop the video and show you a picture of all the tomato starts after I've already planted all of these. Yeah, so I planted too many, obviously. And then let's see, this is Kellogg's tomato. Kellogg's, I don't know. Oh, there's a flower. And this one's Black Beauty. I really, the Black Beauty and the Cherokee Purple are the 2 that I'm super excited about. And I was thinking, since I have so many other starts, I was thinking about planting one of each of those in a pot too, so I can super baby it and control its environment really well to make sure I at least get one of the tomatoes, you know. But also, like, how many tomatoes do I need? I still have tomatoes from last year, and yeah, I need to can them. I need to make salsa. All these things I was supposed to do, I just never got around to it. And also, see, everything's a long story. Like, my stove is like kind of broken a little bit. Like, I need a different one, but then, like, I don't know. I think I want like a regular electric. We have an electric stove. I'd love a gas one, but that's just not how it is. And so, like, we have a flat top stove, but I want like a coil one because for my canner. But, like, I don't know. My husband doesn't want a coil one. He wants the flat top one, which I understand. We have blah blah blah. And our stove is like still good because it's new. Whatever. Do you guys want to hear all about my stove? Because I'll make a whole video about it. I'm just kidding. I won't. I'll say I will and I won't. In this contraption here, I had planted several watermelon seeds in a mound here. Long time ago, I had dumped a bunch of soil here. So in this particular area, there was a bunch of soil. And yeah, so I just mounded it up, put some compost over top of it, and put, if you guys remember from last year, you guys know I'm a huge fan of David the Good, and his son had a landrace watermelon project, and he sold the seeds on Etsy, and I bought some. And so some of those are the landrace watermelon, and then some of them are just regular sugar baby that I got from somewhere. And yeah, we'll see how they do. Last year, I planted my watermelons too late. I got a whole bunch of watermelons, but a lot of them weren't sweet enough, and a lot of them were, so whatever. Hopefully we'll get a couple watermelons. I started late. Last year by this time I already had flowers on them. This is a calamandan tree that's been through a lot in its life. It seems okay. I definitely need to mulch it. I was gonna plant pumpkins right here, but I changed my mind, so that I mounded it up and I never did anything. And then here, you'll see I have a row here. So I wanted it to continue to be, you know, balanced. Although I don't need another row. You can see I have plenty of space that I'm not using. But I just went ahead and I put some cardboard down. I need to put more cardboard down. I didn't even take the tape off of some of it, because it will break down and I'll take the tape out and it'll be fine. Because I'm not planting there right now. Anyway, you guys want to know what I did? So I was like taking all these trips of like wheelbarrows full of stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get the blower and I'm just going to blow all of the debris from the yard here. And I thought that was pretty genius. Anyway, sometimes I have these moments of genius and I'm real proud of myself. There's probably a reason people don't do that, and we're definitely going to find out why. But anyway, there's still a bunch of weeds and stuff in here, and I'll deal with it another time. One of the ideas I have for this area, actually, for like where the calamandan tree is is to plant a big, if you guys remember the Mexican sunflowers from last year, they get really big and tall. They have beautiful flowers. They create some shade whenever it's like the hottest part of the year going into the fall. And I like to have like a sitting area in my garden. And last year it didn't ever work out. But I was thinking maybe I would do like, you know, like level out a circle area with either mulch or gravel or something. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Like a big circle area here. Have a put a Mexican sunflower there, and then I'll have my calamandan tree there, and then just have like a sitting area here across from here. And you'll have to use your imagination. These 3 rows are muscadines, and with any luck at all, this will fill out maybe next year. The whole thing will be covered in vines, and it'll be beautiful and wonderful and just falling off with fruit. So we'll see. You'll see we're not off to a great start. So I ordered them from Ison's Nursery, And I can't remember what all I've told you guys or whatnot, because I've made a bunch of videos I didn't upload. We talked about that. And I ordered the starter pack. So if you're familiar with that, it comes with 6 plants, like 2 of each variety of all the different ones. I don't know, I could tell you if you care. You don't, so it's fine. But there's 6 plants. Well, they sent me an extra one, and which is really cool. I put it in a pot because I had mapped out a place for 6. In the book that came with it, it said to plant them directly if you can. So I had, when they said they were shipping it, I had prepared the spot for them, all of that. One of the other options was, if you can't direct plant it, to put it in a pot. And my instincts told me, put it in a pot. Put them all in a pot, let them grow up big and strong, and then plant them. Because that's, in the past, that's how I've had the most success with anything. Although I know the roots are stronger, whatever, blah, 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 if you plant it where it's going to be. But just in my experience, you guys see, I don't have good soil here. Like, I really have to work on the soil. Even if I like truck in a bunch of soil, I still have to work and work and work, because we get these rains. You guys know, if you're from this area in the Panhandle of Florida, or certainly more, even more so in South Florida, but we have sand and clay. It is just like construction dirt, pretty much. Like, so where it's not sand, it's clay. Where it's not clay, it's sand. It's like gross. It's disgusting. The only place that's like really good is if you go back in like the forested area, like under there, you know, God has composted for me back there. So that's nice. Anyway, so these are not doing as well as the ones in the pots. Oh no, the one in the pot. I have one in a pot. If I think about it, I'll show you. I can't make any promises, and you guys probably don't even care that much. I do. So I've been watering them pretty regularly, as much as I can. I've been bringing a sprinkler out here. We're gonna run water out here eventually, but it is what it is. I know I should. Some of them have come to life, and you would think that this is good, although it's really not that good compared to the one in a pot. So yeah, they're doing okay. I did put a thick layer of compost over it. I've been working on it. This one is not alive at all. It hasn't come at all. So I was thinking about digging this one up and putting it in a pot and seeing if I can nurse it back, which I've done before with blueberries. So maybe I'm like some sort of plant doctor. I don't know. What do you think? I think I'm gonna dig it up, because obviously it's not working out. Oh look, we have a water toy. That's disgusting. This one's okay. Yeah. So, and I have this one over here where the whole thing broke off, which means it was dead. That wasn't it. That was just a stick from the compost. And a little leaf was growing up, and I thought, oh, it's growing back from the roots. But either something ate it, or it died, or something, because it's not there anymore. This is a weed. But so I guess I'm just going to keep watering this hole, see what happens. So, and then this one over here is hanging on by a thread. So, yeah, they're not doing great. And every single part of me wanted to dig them all up, put them in pots, and then plant them later. But I didn't, and I'm not going to. Maybe I will that dead one over there. But I'm a little disappointed with my muscadine situation, and I hope that this time next year I'm just laughing about it and I have a ton of muscadines. That's not gonna happen, but so let me show you guys my compost real quick. So this one, this is what I've been calling my finished compost, and it's really not all the way finished, because I should, you know, I have like a sifter that I could use to like get out all the chunks or whatever, but I'm just putting it on top of things, and it can act as a mulch or whatever. It's not completely finished, and that's fine, but it's mostly finished. You know, it has a good earthy smell to it, and whatever. I'm a super lazy composter. I'll show you in just a second, but it's pretty well broke down. And yeah, there's a whole bunch. I have a bunch here. Let's bring our pitchfork. This is where I'm putting my compost now. So what I had in this part, I turned over to this part, and a lot of it that's on the bottom is like pretty well done. Oh look, got tomatoes growing out of it. What kind of tomatoes do you think those are? I bet they're grocery store tomatoes. Oh, I think that's a potato. Is that a potato? And some kind of pumpkin over here. Either a pumpkin or a tromboncino squash. I would bet a tromboncino squash, actually. But yeah, I'll just let it grow. We'll see what happens. But over here, these piles are, I used to, in a past life, have a bunch of compost back there. That's when I first started my garden. I don't know if you can see how far away it is. It's pretty far. Back there in those trees, I had my compost because I didn't think it all the way through. I thought I'd want it further away from the house, etc., etc. I don't have water back there. It was like a huge pain in the butt to get water back there. Oh, I have a piece of weed fabric on here. Don't ever use weed fabric. It's a pain in the rear. Anyway, my husband borrowed a family member's tractor and was doing some work, and I asked him to move my compost. So I just had him put in a pile over here. Actually, there was like 3 or 4 piles of it because I already put like 2 piles of it in the garden like last fall. But this one, you can see some of the sand got mixed up in it, but that's fine. But it's this is like done. This is what's in that wheelbarrow over there. And I need to, you know, if I was a better gardener, I would definitely sift it, but I'm not. We know this, so it's fine. Also, that is an oak tree, and this year we had like a huge acorn situation. They fell everywhere, so there's a bunch of acorns in here, and a lot of them sprouted, and so probably have a oak tree farm going on. And I don't really know if you can see how much this is. It's a lot. Like I can probably get like maybe 5 more wheelbarrows. I don't ever think it accurately depicts. Can you see? Let's see. Let's get down here. No, it doesn't look that big in the camera. I promise you it is. It's a lot. So I've been hacking away at it, and there's that. And then over here, this one is less finished than that one. And there's also an ant pile in it. And I don't turn them. I know I'm supposed to. And I also I don't water it. Like whenever I first put stuff in it, I'll spray it with water or whatever, but I don't come back and water it. And I don't cover it. I don't do anything. And you certainly should. And you could, but I don't. And it seems to work out okay. You know, it probably would go a lot faster if I did it right, but I don't, and it's fine. And so this is less finished. So in like areas where I'm not planting anything right now, but like, you know, maybe a couple months I want to plant something, I'll put a whole bunch of this on it, and it'll continue to break down, and it'll be fine, and it will cover the soil so that the sun doesn't just drain it out. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch of this over here, and yeah, there's those big black ants. Can you see them? Man, I made them real mad the other day. You know what I'm talking about? Oh gosh. Anyway, they've bit my feet all up before, and they hurt bad. Okay, anyway, so I think I'm done now. I really gotta burn, but it's been so windy, and so I haven't. But I have a bunch of brush. I wish I had a wood chipper, because I would just chip it all up and put it in my compost. But yeah, I don't. And I'd like to get one. You know, there's a lot of things I'd like to get. So yeah, that's that. I think that's everything, isn't it? Did I show you everything? I think I did. So I really, really wanted to finish spreading this compost over this row right here, and also I wanted to finish raking up that row, but I've been working really hard and I'm like kind of tired. So yeah, I look forward to the day when whenever I have child labor. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. So yeah, I think I showed you everything. I don't know why I'm getting all hung up on this right now, but all right. All right, well, I guess until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.